California, what's up, America? Let's talk about California's recall. Okay, so you're going to have what? September 14th. That means they got a campaign until September 14th every single fucking day. Are you all, have you picked your candidate? Are you campaigning, or have you already got your ballot turned in? Gavin Newsom, he already banned the death penalty. He banned fracking. 12% poverty rate, 160,000 homeless are in California. Gavin Newsom wants to ban chokeholds. He has already legalized weed. He wants to end the war on drugs, so no telling what other drugs he wants to legalize. He's getting even closer to universal health care. He wants to end fracking. He wants to end the death penalty. He already has. He already has. Gavin Newsom has ended the death penalty, and Gavin Newsom has ended fracking. Now, the platforms of Larry Elder and Kevin Paffrath and three others compared and contrasted. So both Larry Elder and Kevin Paffrath are right-wing capitalists. They are both conservative. Kevin Paffrath is a stock market landlord. And you have Larry Elder is a Trump lover. He says he's the Republican standard bearer, so therefore he loves Trump. So you have two right-wingers who's leading in the recall election. Kevin Paffrath is 29 years of age. Kevin Paffrath, it's hard to say Paffrath, so I might say Kevin FAFSA. He says crises like an asshole. He also says economics like a dickhead, like a stuck-up, fucking snooty, arrogant, uppity piece of. So you have Kevin FAFSA. I don't like how Kevin FAFSA talks. He's 29. I like his ambition. I like that he's thinking about things. He had two good ideas. So Kevin FAFSA believes in community policing. Kevin FAFSA, you believe in community policing? I don't fucking believe it. I don't. Okay, that's fantastic. Kevin FAFSA also believes in future schools. Jesus Christ. So what, STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, is that the direction? Future schools, science, and technology? This is wonderful. This is very smart stuff. So is Kevin FAFSA for a jobs program? Does he want free internet for everybody? Of course he does not. But you know what he does want? He wants to turn California into Las Vegas. He's going to legalize gambling in person and online. We are going to turn all of California into Sin City. What the fuck is he doing? Las Vegas? Las Vegas, turn the whole damn state. You only need one fucking city, and you already got, one of your damn cities are like that, I'm sure. Internet for everybody? No, he ain't going to do that, but you know what he is going to do? He's going to cut taxes down to zero because he's a right-wing conservative, and that's what right-wing conservatives, that's all they talk about. So Kevin Paffrath, he believes that government doesn't need any taxes at all. That's interesting. Maybe they can operate their own business. Maybe they could start their own gasoline or food, water business or some shit. I don't know. Now, Kevin Paffrath will talk a little bit more about his, some of his stupid ideas, but let's take a listen to what Kevin Paffrath sounds like. This is from a debate.
Well, I've heard a lot of complaining from my fellow candidates here, but the reality is I have not heard a plan. As a JFK-style candidate, I have a plan. Step one, no homeless on our streets within 60 days. We have a very thorough plan for making sure homeless can finally get the dignity and services they deserve. Homelessness costs California $80,000 per year per homeless person. It's very expensive. Then step two, we need to solve...
Let's talk about step one. He's going to do it by executive action. So he's talking about tyrannical fucking executive action. He looked at the COVID and the fucking shit, and he was like, you know what? He wants some of that goddamn power. And so what is he going to do with homeless? I didn't hear him say build a bunch of houses. We needed a bunch of houses. So before Kevin Paffrath, I don't trust either Larry Elder or Kevin Paffrath to handle the homeless situation in California. Instead of building houses, they're going to crack down. That's what we've been doing the whole fucking time. California, you are bearing the brunt of America's homeless. Out of, 500,000 homeless, 160,000 are in California. So that's about 2 out of all the homeless, 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 out of all the homeless, that's freaking crazy. 3 out of 10, I guess, to be more precise. So out of all the homeless people, 3 out of 10 are in California. And 1 out of 8 is, California, they're pretty populous. So anyways, Kevin FAFSA, he wants to legalize gambling, right? So he's a right-wing capitalist. He's a landlord. He's a stock market broker. He made his money doing real estate, fucking flipping houses, buying property, building the fucking fence, painting it, and then selling it to some other fucking sucker down the down the line, selling that sucker down the river. So the homeless plan, I am afraid of right-wing pieces of shit. So Kevin Paffrath, yeah, I think you'll get the National Guard out. Yeah, I think you'll round up the homeless people. I think you'll find an old mall and stadiums and shit, and you'll put them in those buildings. Now you have Angelyne says, why not have a temporary plan where the homeless just goes to the parks? You got state and national parks. For now, if you're homeless, go stay at the park. Find a tent, stay at the park. We're going to work on getting you a house. So that's the temporary plan. There's also a homelessness fund. Get the religion, all the religious institutions to donate to a homelessness fund. There's also something else that she said, the Department of Homelessness Prevention too. But there's, a two-pronged approach. You got a homelessness problem. Now, either A, you could just put spikes down so they can't sleep and put, fucking bars in the middle of benches so they can't, and just try to push them out of the way and push them and keep on harassing them until eventually, they go to Oregon or they go to fucking Washington. Just kind of push them to the next city so they're somebody else's problem. That's what we've been doing the entire fucking time. What we haven't done is said, okay, we got 500,000 homeless in our country, America, so let's build some homes for the homeless. Let's get the 500,000. It's only 500,000. We got 330 million Americans. Only 500,000. We could knock this thing out for, I think, $5 billion. $5 billion might sound like it's a chunk of change, but compared to America's budget, we just wasted fucking $2 to $6 trillion on Afghanistan, and I'm just talking about $2 billion, which is only 2% of $1 trillion. We wasted $2 to $6 trillion on this war, and I'm just talking about a small, tiny 1 to 2% of that. So that would solve homelessness for in our time for one fucking moment. Bing, bam, boom. Everybody has a home in America. So the homelessness problem is a major issue, but it's a two-pronged approach. Yeah, you can harass motherfuckers, but ultimately people have to live somewhere. So pushing it, people down the next fucking river, that's not solving anything. It's not solving any fucking thing. And so ultimately, I got to know that you have love and compassion in your heart and you don't want to. Yeah, there's some crazy homeless and you got to deal with the criminal shit, but, having a baton and cracking down fascism, that's always what people go with. We got to make sure they get into a house. For every one homeless person, you got 22 empty houses. So it's just a coordination failure. It's a love failure, compassion failure, and a coordination failure. You already got the housing right now. So you can build brand new housing or you can just put them in the housing that exists currently. You would have to have the will to do it and the love and the compassion. The banks will be all pissed off and they'll try to sue or whatever. But you got a crisis, so declare an emergency. So, no, I do not trust Kevin Fafsa when it comes to Kevin Paffrath with the goddamn homeless. I don't trust Larry Elder with the fucking homeless. Yeah, right, Caitlyn Jenner, they'll fucking kick the homeless in the fucking teeth and see, I took care of the homeless. Motherfucker, you can't just throw the homeless into the jails or whatever. You can't just, they'll find a fucking place to go. And maybe you can harass them. That's just you're taking so much effort to harass when you could just build them a fucking home. And build them a home way over there so they're out of your fucking way. You're being nice, you're being compassionate, and you move them way the fuck over there. So, yeah, I do not trust Kevin Fafsa or Larry Elder when it comes to the homelessness epidemic in California.
We can't be the 5th largest economy in the world with schools in the bottom 20%. We need to teach financial education in our schools. We need to teach mental education in our schools. Provide drug treatment services. $1 into drug treatment services saves us $3 in crime. And with the legislature, I will pass a very comprehensive package to address housing, transportation, and traffic.
Yeah, a whole bunch of other things. So, I don't like him. I think he's full of shit. He's talking about this Mississippi water pipeline. Mississippi water pipeline. He wants to steal water from the Mississippi River. Why not just get a wooden stick and just do it that way, right? What, a divining stick? Get a wooden stick and try to find where the water source is? Jesus Christ. Maybe electrify the air. Get Tesla to electrify the air and just create water from the air. right? Dumb fucking tunnel idea. He hates the high-speed rail. So instead of getting high-speed rail, what Kevin Faso wants to do is to have a bunch of underground traffic tunnels. Have a bunch of underground traffic tunnels. Have a water pipeline from Mississippi to steal the water from the Mississippi River. Kevin Paffrath, another thing that scares me when it comes to the homeless is he's talking about the National Guard. He's going to identify 80 sites to house the homeless, like empty malls, and then get them temporarily housed in those sites. While I kind of like the idea, I like the ambition, the go-get attitude or whatever, National Guard, motherfucker, this sounds like a concentration camp. This sounds like a concentration camp. So yeah, I'm definitely afraid of right-wing fascist motherfuckers turning into goddamn Hitler. Yeah, this motherfucker could have, concentration camps of homeless people. He's already saying, okay, we got the National Guard and a bunch of homeless. I'm the governor. I got executive action. What the fuck does that sound like to you? That sounds like it's going to be a fight. Sounds like he's going to, just fucking lasso them and then put them in a goddamn concentration camp. And then what? And then what? What's the next fucking step after that? And then that Larry Elder, he's in favor of Trump's separation policy, so I do not trust either one of them. I think either one of them are capable of corralling the homeless in a fucking pen and then just, Sand Creek Massacre or Ludlow Massacre, just shoot a bunch of innocent people in a hole. In homelessness with executive action, yeah, you're a tyrant. You're talking about, a dictatorship. Pass in year one a massive infrastructure bill. Okay, I'm all right with that. Get us some infrastructure. In COVID with the proper masking, all right. Hyper-transparency, appointed Democratic senator. So, Paffrath, okay, I believe that you're going to legalize gambling, so you're going to bring Las Vegas into, try to turn California into Las Vegas, which is terrible. That's fucking, awful. There's still small towns and shit in California, and you're just going to corrupt the whole fucking state. So, Kevin Paffrath, I feel like he must have read that, all it would take to solve all of California's water problems is just to take 4% of the Mississippi River. If you just take 4% of the Mississippi River from California, then that's all you'll need to solve the water problems of California. Then the Golden State will be A-OK. If you're going to steal from the Mississippi River, why not also steal from the Great Lakes? Why not also steal from the Nile? How about the Rhine? Victoria Falls in Africa. Get you a bucket full of... Why don't you get some from the Sacramento River? Jesus Christ, build 100, desalination water factories. I don't know if you know this or not, California, but on a map, if you just look to the left of California, there's a great big old Pacific Ocean. You got the biggest body of water on the planet right next door to you. It's right there adjacent, right next door, the coastline. It's why you got the economy, exports, imports, what the fuck? Desalination water factories. Take all that water from the Pacific Ocean and then remove the salt. And now you got water. Take all that Pacific Ocean water, take out the salt, now you have a shit ton of water. But we want to take a divining rod, a dowsing rod, just a little stick, right? One that'll magically point to a water source. Why don't we just play the Ouija board next? Jesus fucking Christ, Stealing water from the Mississippi River? How stupid. It's a pipeline. It's going to go through 4 or 5 fucking states. You got to get everybody on board, and to steal the water from the Mississippi, why in the goddamn fuck would Minnesota allow you to do that? Why would Louisiana or Arkansas let you steal their fucking water? And then when it comes to the underground traffic tunnels, what, we're going to be like Batman? Kevin Paffrath wants to be like Batman with the underground bat cave tunnels, right? He don't want to have no high-speed rail. Hey, Kevin Paffrath, what about like airplanes? What if we had like, flying cars and flying planes and shit? He wants to have underground traffic tunnels. You know what? Instead of just having a bunch of underground bat cave tunnels and shit, why don't we add a loop-to-loop? Wouldn't that be fun? Add a loop-to-loop, and then we could actually go to the center of the earth, right? Oh my God, we could go to the center of the earth, underground loop-to-loops all the way to the hot lava molten iron core of the earth. Wouldn't that be fun? Have bat cave tunnels all the way to the center of the earth? So his idea to steal water from the Mississippi River, it's gonna take a lot of thought and fucking ideas. He might get stuck on it, and then someone needs to tell him that these ideas are dumb, so he doesn't, get bogged down. He might fucking be elected the fucking governor, and if he's got a bunch of kiss-ass yes-men, then he's going to spend too much fucking times on these, you know, bridge-to-nowheres, these bridge-to-nowhere projects. So no, Fallbrook. Come on, California. Jesus Christ. Put down your avocado toast. We can't go to Fallbrook. We can't go to the avocado festival in Fallbrook right now. We got a revolution to fight. California, put down your avocado toast. Put down your avocado toast. And put your fist up in the air. Jeremy Marciniak sounds like a nice guy. He ain't going to win. He ain't going to win. He's a nice guy, though. He's got like 3 issues, 3 planks to a platform. He's one of 46 candidates. You also got Holly Bade. Holly, B-A-A-D-E, Holly Bade, mother, business owner, joyful warrior, Democrat, running for governor of California. She's just all about anti-mask, nonstop. What about the poverty? What about the police brutality? What about immigration? My God, does this all white women give a fuck about not having to, what, she wants to spit her water vapor droplets all over the goddamn place? Spit her fucking COVID all over the fucking place? California, you got to put down your avocado toast. It's time to organize. John Robert Drake, you got a couple progressives in there. So compare John Robert Drake, Dan Kapelovitz, and Angelyne. These are 3 progressives, and then I'm going to get to Larry Elder at the end. So Dan Kapelovitz, he's a defense attorney. He wants to stop ICE. He's pro-basic income, pro-nationalization of electricity. He wants to end factory farming. He's pro-universal health care, pro-publicly financed elections, pro-green public power, and he's pro-instant runoff voting. When it comes to Angelyne's platform, she wants to decriminalize sex work. She wants to send in the otters. She wants to save California's coastlines by sending in the otters. She wants temporary housing of the homeless in the parks. She wants to establish a Department of Homeless Prevention. She wants to establish a homeless fund, which is to be funded by religious institutions. She wants to abolish private prisons, and she wants to establish private rehabs. She wants all the people who are convicted of marijuana charges to be freed and released from jail, from prison. 3 strikes law. She wants to pass a 3 strikes law for the police to make sure police stop with the brutality. She also wants a policeman's ball for good cops. For these wonderful peace officers, there shall be a policeman's ball. Some bad things, she wants the insurance companies to have a seat at the table, so she's not for single-payer universal health care. She also seems to really hate jury duty and daylight savings time, which, you know, is whatever. But I do like that she's for a Masquerade Ball, she's for a UFO Convention, she's for a policeman's ball, and she's in favor of a bubble bath day. So Angelyne wants a bubble bath day. Why does she want a bubble bath day? So, you know, something gets clean. You got to clean something on bubble bath day. John Robert Drake. And then after we talk about John Robert Drake, we're going to get to... After we get to John Robert Drake, we're going to get to Larry Elder. Okay, John Robert Drake, invest in housing, infrastructure, mental health, drug rehabilitation, and jobs building, incentive programs that gives unhoused individuals the proper skills to get back into the community, rent control, eviction moratorium, universal basic income. Kapelovitz, I think, believes in basic income, not universal for some reason. John Robert Drake, so I guess I like John Robert Drake with the universal basic income better, but I like Kapelovitz better when it comes to the democracy, the public financed elections, you know, the welfare for politicians, and then also the public financed elections and the instant runoff voting. So he would make California's democracy actually, you know, function, and the majority of the people would get their way. Both John Robert Drake and Dan Kapelovitz want universal health care. Both John Robert Drake and Danny Kapelovitz agree on universal health care and basic income. They want cheaper educational costs, raise the teacher pay. You have John Robert Drake. He wants to support public schools. He's also pro-choice, pro-LGBTQ, pro-environment, and I think he might be pro-Second Amendment. So I like all those things. If I had to vote, if I had to pick one of all those, reading all these out loud right now, Angelyne's platform is bigger and it's dreamier, and it's got a lot more cooler shit. I wish Dan Kapelovitz or John Robert Drake would have talked to me about their fucking ideas and expanded on theirs, but shit, if they're not even excited about their own ideas and their own platforms, how the hell is anybody else going to get excited about it? Angelyne, she's been getting attention her entire life. So I'm kind of leaning towards Angelyne right now. Let's listen to Paffrath.
And busing. We will address homelessness and the causes with drugs and mental health. And we will also make sure we have future schools in the state. Now, my full plan is at meetkevin.com, but the reality is once we invest in Californians, then we can lower taxes. And we can make California competitive by cutting taxes on anyone making less than $250,000 to zero once we properly invest in California.
Okay, we need to move into round 2 of our questioning tonight, and this shrinks your answer to 30 seconds. Okay.
Okay, you long-winded windbag motherfuckers.
Everybody agree has been dealt a unique set of
Name any.
John Cox, let's just get past these motherfuckers. We don't want to listen to these. Okay, so Larry Elder, the sage from South Central. Larry Elder comes across as wise. He's, very researched. He's the one that converted Dave Rubin. So he comes out at you with facts and statistics and information. And he says, here's my conclusion. Here's my argument. And, I like the way he talks. I like that he's calm and collective. And frankly, Larry Elder has been running for the governor of California for quite some time. He's got all these media relationships. He's got all these speeches. He's been running for governor of California for a very long time. So he's been building up all these relationships, and he's got all these. And now all he has to do is just call Hannity or Candace up on the phone, and then he gets interviews all over the fucking place. So Larry Elder has... everybody's going to know who he is. Everybody's going to know who Larry Elder is within, just a couple minutes, a couple days, if they don't already know who he is right now this second. What we don't know is the progressive. So the right wing, the Republicans, the conservatives, they got their guy. Who are the progressives going to coalesce around? So, all right, who is Larry Elder? Larry Elder is a Republican. He's a right-winger. He's a pro-life. He says Joe Biden won the election fairly and squarely. He believes in $0 minimum wage. He doesn't believe in gun control. He doesn't believe in critical race theory. He's against reparations. He doesn't believe that a gender wage gap exists. Larry Elder called the climate crisis a crock. Basically, a crock is in a crock of shit. Says that fatherless families drive up crime rates in black communities. He backed Donald Trump's migrant family separation policy. He mentored Stephen Miller. He's repeatedly claimed that black people are more prone to crime and violence than any other demographic group. Larry Elder, he's against the war on drugs, so is Gavin Newsom. Anti-crime, anti-early release, anti-cashless bail. Larry Elder is against socialism. Larry Elder is against using the word African-American. He wants to cancel African-American. He's in favor of school choice. School vouchers are good. Get money directly to the student and the parent. That puts the power in the pockets of the customer. How come the customer is the one that's in the, back of the line? How come the customer is on the bottom of the totem pole? The customer should be the one that's king. The customer should be the one that's on top. The customer should be the one that's first. Students and parents should be the one that's first. Not the administration, not the damn teachers, but the students and the parents. School vouchers puts the power in the hands of the students and the parents. Larry Elder, he's going to declare an emergency declaration to deal with the homelessness crisis again. Once again, Larry Elder, they say he's not as bad as like Candace Owens and some other folks, but Larry Elder, he does, say some questionable shit when it comes to race and gender. Now, Larry Elder, he wants an emergency declaration to deal with the homeless crisis. To what? He says he's going to get rid of regulations and laws. That's going to help the economy. That's what Republicans have been saying the whole time. How are you going to help the homeless? Cut the fucking laws, cut regulations, lower taxes. What the fuck are you talking about? That's not going to help nothing. That's not going to help homelessness. You got to build them homes, and you got to let them stay in the parks. Larry Elder is one of the few Republicans who knows that Donald Trump lost in the 2020 election. Larry Elder is anti-George Soros. Larry Elder is anti-war on poverty. George Soros is against critical race theory. He's also against mask or vaccine mandates. Larry Elder believes in $0 minimum wage. Repeating some of this, but, you know, that's how you memorize things. He's against the war on drugs, just like Gavin Newsom is. Larry Elder, Larry Elder, Larry Elder, Larry Elder. Is he going to hurt 160,000 homeless folks? Is he going to do concentration camps? He's in support of the family separation policy, so what's he going to do? Is there going to be concentration camps for, you know, Mexicans? They're going to be concentration camps for homeless people? Is Larry Elder going to build concentration camps for the black folks? We know that Larry Elder seems to have an absolute hatred for black people. In California, there's 6% black people in California. So politically, it's not dangerous to be, you know, and then to, think that a bunch of right-wing fucking racist whites, they will love to hear all the dumb shit that Larry Elder is saying. He wants to sit there and say that black people are more prone to crime and violence than the other demographic groups. My God. Why not just, you know, get the goddamn KKK banner and just, you know, why don't you just take over for David Duke? Jesus Christ, man. So Larry Elder isn't as crazy as, you know, some. He knows that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. He does seem to, you know, lean in the direction of crazy a lot of the times. The sage from South Central. That anti-George Soros shit. He doesn't believe a gender wage gap exists. He said dumb comments about women, no to reparations, no to critical race theory. Mentored Stephen Miller. So when you look at Stephen Miller and when you look at Dave Rubin, when you look at Candace Owens, when you look at Dave Rubin, say thank you, Larry Elder. He's like the patriarch. He is the patriarchy come to roost. The patriarchy has come home to roost. And the right wing couldn't be more happy about it. Mentored Stephen Miller. So, yeah, I'm afraid that Kevin Paffrath could hurt the homeless people, but I'm more afraid that Larry Elder would hurt the homeless and the foreign immigrants and the domestic black folks. So I think Larry Elder is a much bigger threat than Kevin Paffrath. They're both threats. Both are right-wing. But if I had to choose one over the other, Larry Elder is the bigger evil. Kevin Paffrath it'd be easier to vote for that Paffrath than Larry motherfucking Elder. So there you go. There's a compare and contrast of the two different. You want to hear somebody say something in this debate? Here.
He went into lockdown mode. He went into a one-size-fits-all policy. That just caused all of the shutdowns. That caused our school closures. That is not the right way to do it. We have to bring people together, as I did when I was mayor. Republicans, Democrats, independents, and I will make sure that we put the facts forward first and move forward in one direction, not a top-down policy.
To Kevin Paffrath now, something the governor's done well that you could see continuing.
The governor's done a great job at branding this election as a Republican recall. Unfortunately, he's wrong. I'm a Democrat running against the governor. That's one thing he's done well, but here's the problem. We have a big threat. And that threat isn't here to defend himself. That's Larry Elder. That's because Larry Elder's with his disinformation friends, Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham. Right before this debate aired, he went on Laura Ingram's show. It's time to end the big threat and make sure that Larry Elder does not become the next governor by voting for Kevin Paffrath.
Kevin Kiley, can you name something the governor has done well that you could see continuing?
The governor actually is my constituent, I should say. He lives in my assembly district. And one thing that he's done well is he does these big splashy announcements, like he did with fire mitigation efforts, which my friend over here had pointed out was exaggerated by 690%. There's never any follow-through. But what's worse is, kind of the image that should stay with people about Gavin Newsom is the one of the French Laundry, not because of the hypocrisy, but because of who he was there with, a table full of lobbyists. That is who this governor listens to. And what we need in our next governor is someone who will actually serve the people of California.
Thank you.
More Paffrath coming up in the soon.
Pave our
Kevin
roads,
Kiley and
forests,
Cox
store our
and
water, maintain our grid,
Falconer.
fund our police. The government is supposed
They're
to do.
Republicans, so they're not Larry Elder.
Your turn.
Who gives a shit?
We've heard a lot of vision from other candidates, but no real plans. I understand my plans are bold. So are JFK's. My plans are to end our homeless crisis, to solve our housing crisis, to solve our school crisis, our crime crisis, our water crisis, and our fire crisis. All of these